bill shows he traded his vote on the cheap. Did you, Senator? Of course, you would get significant benefits to the Mountain Valley Pipeline, very important from West Virginia.
Shannon, this is not about me.
What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and I've got some video footage that you are not going to want to miss. As Senator Joe Manchin, he is asked outright, are you a sellout to the American people for the Inflation Reduction Act? Let me know your thoughts, you guys. Now, is he a sellout? Is he corrupt? Or was he deceived? They also ask him, were you tricked by Democrats? That's what we're hearing from Republicans. And also, they come out and ask him, are you aware of the fact that the Inflation Reduction Act that you passed into law, economists across the board are now saying it's not going to do anything to help out with inflation. As a matter of fact, they're saying it might hurt our economy while we're experiencing 40-year high inflation. The American people are hurting, and you stripped out all of the stimulus provisions in that reconciliation bill. Man, let me know your thoughts, you guys. You're not going to want to miss this video footage. This is your breaking news, stimulus check update, and stimulus package update. Now, this clip, it's about 12 minutes long, and it is chock full throughout the whole thing. Good questions, and you're going to see the responses from Senator Joe Manchin. Now, let me know your thoughts. Do you like Joe Manchin? Do you think what he did was good or bad? What do you think about inflation? And this is a critical time right now because, as you'll recall, Senator Joe Manchin, he passed that reconciliation bill with the promise from Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer that they would pass his additional side deal with the budget bill. But now progressives have found out and they said, no, we're not passing anything for Joe Manchin, who stripped out all of those stimulus provisions. It's not going to go through. But if the budget does not go through, that literally means a government shutdown. This could impact the entire nation, you guys. And right now, people are suffering with this inflation. Interest rates are increasing. People are hurting, still asking for provisions, and midterms are upon us. So this is a critical point right now, you guys. They're going to ask him the questions that people want to know. Now, also, if you're wondering where I'm at, I'm in Las Vegas with the family. I am at a real estate conference. Many of you know I'm a real estate investor, business owner, things like that. And but while I'm here, I am going to go to this conference, spend time with my family, and I'm going to make sure to keep you guys up to date on everything going on. So if you appreciate that, do me a favor, smash the like button. The updates might not be as frequent as usual because I'm going to be busy doing things, but I'm going to make sure that I can get you guys the latest updates so you don't miss out at all, you guys. And also, if you want to stay up to date, if this is by chance your first time here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. It's totally free. Come join the Ram fam. I keep you up to speed on what's happening with Congress, legislation, stimulus, all that good stuff. Also, any specific questions, hop onto Instagram, shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. Just be careful here on YouTube. There's tons of scammers that take my picture, tell you to contact them on WhatsApp. That is not me, you guys. Also, I've got a second channel. If you are interested in finding out specifics about the real estate market, a recession, what's happening with the economy, I'm uploading videos at Steve Ram Finance. Just did one on 10 markets where real estate prices, they're dropping fast. And also what Redfin is saying about what's to come, other cities where this is likely going to be happening as well, you guys. And also over the past 3 months, I have compiled every single stimulus check in the nation for states, cities, counties. You won't find this any other place. I put together all of the contact information, phone numbers, websites, email addresses, all in one easy to access place. So that way you have the reassurance of knowing you know about everything across the entire nation, you guys. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into this video footage so you can see it for yourself. Let me know your thoughts. Senator Joe Manchin exposed, strikes again. All of the questions you want to know in this clip from the weekend. Let's go ahead and take a look.
Joe Manchin struck a deal with Chuck Schumer last month to pass Democrats' climate, health, and tax bill. It came with a price. That price to reform the tedious federal permitting process for new energy projects. But now that deal is facing stiff opposition from both progressives and staunch Republicans. And now Schumer's trying to find a way to keep his promise to Manchin while avoiding a potential government shutdown. This is all tied together. Joining us now from West Virginia, Senator Joe Manchin, also chair of the Senate Energy and Natural Resources Committee. Senator, welcome back to Fox News Sunday.
Good to be with you, Shannon.
Okay, so let's start with the Wall Street Journal's assessment of what's actually in the deal. Of course, you would get significant benefits to the Mountain Valley Pipeline, very important from West Virginia to the southeast. But they say this, it creates new regulatory risks for fossil fuels, which is the opposite of what he promised. Mr. Manchin had political leverage, but the bill shows he traded his vote on the cheap. Did you, Senator?
Absolutely not. The article's not accurate, and we have a reply. The reply will be going back in tomorrow, and it'll go in tomorrow to Wall Street Journal, so you'll be able to see the reply, and basically answering every one of the things which they basically have evaluated wrongly. But this is a chance in a lifetime for us to have energy independence, Shannon, for us to have security in this nation, which we need, and making sure that we can take care of the American people with lower energy prices, producing more oil, producing more gas. But we have to have permitting reform if you're going to deliver it. You have no way of infrastructure to deliver it. So everyone knows that. My Republican friends know that.
They do. And your Republican colleague and friend there in West Virginia, your fellow senator, Shelley Moore Capito, has offered her own piece. She did that also as an amendment to the reconciliation bill. You didn't vote for that amendment. If permitting was so important, why not vote for it then when she offered it?
Well, hers is a messaging bill, and we understand that. In the reconciliation, basically, we have a process that we're using, and I'm happy to say that Shelley, my friend Shelley Moore Capito, we work together. We put our country and our state before our political parties. She's totally supportive of my approach, basically has incorporated many of the things that she and 46 other Republican senators also have endorsed and agree. I just hope we can come together as Americans and forget about our party, the party politics that's going on, and make this opportunity a reality that gives us security for our nation, that gives us independence, and be able to lower the gas prices, lower the energy prices in America, and help our allies around the world.
Well, certainly you understand why Republicans don't think they should be the ones to come across the aisle to vote for a measure that primarily benefits you, which was done in exchange for your vote on a measure they didn't support, like a single one of them vote for the Inflation Reduction Act. Politico says this, they're quoting Senator John Cornyn, a top Republican, given what Senator Manchin did on the reconciliation bill, it's engendered a lot of bad blood. There's not a lot of sympathy on our side to provide Senator Manchin a reward. So how can you expect them to vote for this now?
Shannon, this is not about me. My Republican friends, I've been working for 12 years with them, and I know their number one item that they've had, the number one priority they've had is permitting reform. We can't build anything in America. It takes 5 to 10 years. The developed world takes 1 to 3 years. And why should we be so far behind the developed world to bringing products to market, to be able to have the infrastructure to move energy around? And we're asking people around the world to do things for us we won't do for ourselves. My Republican friends know exactly where we are. This is not about the previous legislation. This is something, a high priority that we have for our country. It's a time in history. If we don't, Shannon, take advantage of this and come together as Americans, we're going to look back 5, 10 years from now and wonder why we're not able to meet the demands, why we're allowing Putin to kind of control dictate the energy policies, and what we're trying to respond to and not able to do it in a timely fashion because we can't move the energy in America. Whether it's going to be new transmission lines for renewables or basically for fossil and oil and gas that moves the products we need today. That's what this is about. And we need to come together as Americans.
Okay, so Senator Capito has said she would support your measure. She will vote for it. Would you vote for hers if yours doesn't move and hers is offered as a separate measure?
Well, hers, if it was the Republicans, and she knows that, if the Republicans were in the majority, I'm the only Democrat that's ever voted for really, truly permitting reform. There was only one vote for my friend Dan Sullivan in his reform. And if they were in control, I would do as I've been doing for the last 12 years. I would vote for permitting reform. I'm asking them to take the opportunity that you finally have to make something happen in America that we can deliver energy that we need, to lower gas prices at the pump, to lower energy prices in your home, and be able to take care and keep ourselves secure and independent, and be able to help our people in Europe who are hurting very badly, and allowing Putin to put this absolutely using energy as a weapon. And it's just unbelievable that we're in this position right now with what Putin is doing And the world is changing of what he's doing and the carnage he's putting upon the people of Ukraine, innocent men and women.
Yes, absolutely.
We have to respond.
And we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. It's reprehensible. And people in this country do want energy independence. There are those who want to try to balance that against, the climate protections as well. But you've got to convince not only Republicans, but Democrats within your own party as well. So let's talk about some of them. A group of 8 senators sent a letter to the Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer, said no way this measure should be tied to the funding bill. We run out of money at the federal government next week. They said, we believe such important issues should be examined through detailed committee consideration and a robust floor debate separate from the urgent need to see the government stays open. Their letter outlines their worries. They're progressive. They're worried about the climate. And they say your measure would actually disproportionately hurt low-income Americans and communities of color if it does get passed.
Shannon, let me just be very clear and very honest with you. I never expected Bernie Sanders and the far extreme left to ever be for any permitting. They've never been for permitting reform. That's why we've never had it. This is one time when overwhelmingly Democrats in both the House and the Senate are supporting. And for my Republican friends not to see that, which I know they do, and not be able to pass something they've been unable to do for 12 years since I've been working with them, it would be basically a lost moment in history if we don't do this. So I'm hoping that they will look at what we have in front of us. The energy independence, security, stopping Putin dead in his tracks, being able to do what we need to reduce the price of energy, and helping people in their home as far as energy costs there. We have a golden opportunity, and we have a majority, overwhelming majority of Democrats supporting it. And they're doing it because this is the right time and the right thing to do for our country. But also it's a time that we basically can bring Democrats and Republicans together, as we've done with the bipartisan infrastructure bill. We've done it with the CHIPS bill. We continue to do things when we need to do something for our country. This is the most important thing that we could do today, and it's the most critical problem we have in front of us, which is energy independence and security.
So as you look to try to get those votes together from both sides of the aisle, here's something that Senator Kennedy, Republican out of Louisiana, had to say this week about this whole thing.
I'm just a little surprised. Joe's been around here a long time, and he's he's my friend, but he's a savvy politician. He made a deal without having all the ducks in a row. I'm not even sure they know where the ducks are right now.
Did you miscalculate on the ducks, Senator?
No, John's my dear friend. What a great person. I just enjoy him very much. And the thing, we have good conversations. When they say they weren't involved, everything I've done for the last 12 years working with my Republican colleagues has been incorporated in this. We have talked about it, worked about it, so they have tremendous amount of input in this, but the process has come down to where party line vote, which is unfortunate, but it is what we're dealing with in a toxic political atmosphere. But I can assure you, everybody, we've tried to take everyone's input on this, and my Republican friends' input is in this piece of legislation. So I'm just hoping that, and I'm very optimistic, that we have the opportunity, they realize this opportunity that will never pass again in our lifetime.
Okay, so let me...
When they had everything, in 2016 to 2020, Shannon, they had Republican president, Republican House, Republican Senate. We couldn't move it because I was the only Democrat. Now we're in a position where we have a majority of Democrats, and our Republican friends can take it across the goal line.
We'll see if they do. This all traces back to your vote on the so-called Inflation Reduction Act. The Penn-Wharton budget model and the CBO both found that it had a statistically just negligible effect on inflation. Right now, Americans are continuing to pay more for everything, including just groceries. We looked at August to August, 13.5% jump last week. And then the markets are plunging, and there's this headline. Billionaire investor Carl Icahn warns the worst is yet to come for investors and compares U.S. inflation to the fall of the Roman Empire. So, what regrets do you have at this point in voting for the Inflation Reduction Act, which hasn't cooled things off? It's not projected to short-term or long-term, in exchange for this deal now that may not actually go anywhere on energy?
Inflation is horrible, and it's extremely damaging to our economy, and it's damaging to every West Virginian and every American. So we have to fight inflation. The Inflation Reduction Act basically, first of all, puts more energy back in the market. So if you want to reduce prices, then put more product out there. If you want to get your gasoline prices down, produce more oil. If you want to get your home heating in that, produce more natural gas. Do it cleaner than anywhere in the world. Replace the dirty energy around the world. And that basically helps the climate and gives us more product. When you reduce basically the Medicare prices of drugs, in West Virginia, 300,000 West Virginians rely on Medicare. We're reducing their pricing on drugs, so that has to reduce it. When they're saying it's negligible, they're going to see it in the next 30 days? No. Will they see it? Absolutely they will see it, because this does nothing but gives us a chance to reduce inflation. And, I worked very hard to make sure we had an opportunity to be energy independent, secured, fight Putin's war. I understood that Bernie Sanders and my left wing of the Democratic Party would never support anything that would let us be energy independent with the energy we have in our own country.
Well, Senator, you have made the case. We'll see if your Republican and Democratic colleagues are listening as you take those votes this week. Senator, thank you very much. We'll keep an eye on it.
So there you have it, you guys. Now, let me know your thoughts on those responses. Do you think that he was deceived, corrupted? Do you think what he's doing is good? Are they going to fix this, or are we going to have a government shutdown? And is there going to be more stimulus provisions? Right now, at this point, looks like executive actions would likely be the only way by which we would see a fourth federal level stimulus check. Maybe legislation for child tax credits, Social Security increases. We will see, but I'll keep you up to date, you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Now, we are approaching these midterm elections. Things are going to intensify, and as they roll out, I'll be sure to keep you up to date here on the channel. But that is the latest, you guys, and as always, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far, you haven't already, don't forget, like button, hit the subscribe button to stay up to date. Instagram at SteveRam3, best way to get a hold of me, and check out my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to find out what's going on with specifics with the real estate market, the economy, inflation, everything happening. And if you want access to the comprehensive list of every stimulus check in the nation, www.reliefroadmap.com. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much once again, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.